So roughly 100 students at Northeast Tennessee High School walked out of a class yesterday to protest the gun violence epidemic in our country. The students gathered in front of the school chanting, "Protect our kids," as they held up signs that read, "Ban guns, not books," and "Sick of thoughts and prayers." The event was not sanctioned by the school, but the district released a statement of support for the students' right to protest. The Tennessee walkout came as Republicans in the State House are pushing to expel 3 Democrats for, quote, disorderly behavior while they were protesting gun violence. The Republicans say the Democrats broke chamber rules when they approached the House podium and began chanting with protesters in the House chamber gallery when they weren't recognized. The Tennessee House Speaker went as far as comparing their actions to the January 6th. Just take a look at this video. He's comparing what's happening here to the January 6th attack on the Capitol, the insurrection.
Where you had police officers, where you had cops bludgeoned and beaten by American flags. You had windows broken, property destroyed, Trump supporters defecating, Capitol cops chased, members being terrorized in fear for their lives here. This looks like some people chanting.
They're holding up a sign.
Yeah, they're holding up a sign. There was bear spray being sprayed at cops. There were cops who died after the attacks. You talk to family members who will blame the January 6th riots on the death of 4 different cops, 4 police officers, and how grotesque that they're comparing protests and chants to a mob scene, to a riot that was aimed at overturning a democratic, peaceful election. Let's bring in right now one of the 3 Tennessee House Democrats targeted for expulsion by Republicans, State Representative Gloria Johnson. Representative Johnson, this is just obviously unprecedented, is it not?
It's absolutely surreal. I really can't believe that we are here, that democracy is being eroded, and we are marching toward fascism, certainly in Tennessee. You know, we did break a rule by going to the well without permission. Within 20 seconds, they cut the mic and called a recess. So most of what you saw was during a recess. They acted as if it was like January 6th. That's just a lie. That was such a peaceful rally. Our speaker even went on Fox News and said that the protesters tried to storm the chamber doors, called the protesters insurrectionists. These were folks that I talked to that morning that were parents that dropped their kid. Moms were crying to me that morning saying, I had to drop my kids off at school before I came here. And I just hope that they will be safe when I pick them up this afternoon. And they were not allowing us to speak on the floor, to welcome and acknowledge the protesters, acknowledge the just devastation that gun violence causes, and talk about that issue. We were busy voting on things like resolutions to build the wall on the border rather than talking about the issue. My colleagues across the aisle would not even look the protesters in the eye as they came into the chambers.
Representative Johnson, good morning. Thank you for being with us. And you're right, it is a lie, and the comparison is just so gross. You're talking about you and a group of high school students who are asking for legislation so that there might be a better chance they're not shot and killed inside their schools, as opposed to a group of people being led by a lie to attack police officers at the United States Capitol. I want to point something out to our viewers, which is that you're a former high school teacher, and you can talk about this as much or as little as you're comfortable. But in 2008 at a high school in Knoxville, you were present for a school shooting where a 15-year-old was killed at school. How has that impacted your view on gun safety?
That's why I brought red flag laws the past 2 years. It's always an issue that I've cared about, about safe storage. I will never forget that day on August 21st when I was sitting in my classroom. It was breakfast time. The bell hadn't rung yet. Most of my kids gather in the cafeteria together and have breakfast with all the students. And I look out outside the window, and I see all my students and other students hundreds of students running down the hill, screaming and crying, running into my classroom. And I'll just never forget the terror on their face, the tears. I'll never forget it took them a few minutes to be able to articulate to me what was happening. And you never forget something like that. And to walk past those parents and not recognize their fears and their concerns for their children, it's just, I don't know how somebody can do that. And I don't know how you can not recognize those people, the issue that they care about, or not allow us to recognize them on the House floor. After this shooting in Nashville, where we lost Evelyn, Hallie, William, Cynthia, Catherine, and Mike, the first action this body took was not to do something about gun violence, but to expel 3 members who spoke up against gun violence.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned their names. We're seeing their faces as well. The 3 9-year-old victims at the Covenant School in Nashville, 3 educators and staff, including the head of the school there, Dr. Kuntz. So, Representative, what do you do with that kind of posture when the reflex right after a school shooting is to defend gun rights in your state? A lot of people kind of speaking privately, even to people around Tennessee. I spent some time living there. They say nothing's going to change here. It's just the way the state is. In fact, the laws are getting looser. How do you push back against that in the interest, again, of just making schools and public spaces safer?
Meet the amazing kids that are coming in droves up here, and they're not going to let up. This younger generation they're going to push and they're going to fight. Mm-hmm. You know, my colleagues act like when we did a chant, no action, no peace, that they acted like that was some sort of call to war. Everybody knows there's a chant for protest, no justice, no peace. And what that means is that we are not going to stop showing up, standing up, and speaking up. That's the peace we're talking about. We will stay present until there is action on gun violence. And I have a whole lot of faith in this new generation, but there are also thousands of adults that are going to be gathering with them as well. And so the reality is we've got folks that are not going to let up, and our supermajority is not with the public of Tennessee. I live in very red East Tennessee, and I polled it in my district. Red flag laws are more than 50% of Republicans in my district favor red flag laws. That's just a fact. They're out of touch. They are under the thumb of the NRA and the Tennessee Firearms Association, and they are not listening to their constituents.
We know you've got to get to work there in the Capitol. We appreciate you stopping through with us. Tennessee State Representative Gloria Johnson, thanks so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.